Elmwood's founder, by all accounts, cast a big shadow. An early arrival to western Peoria County, William Joshua Phelps capitalized on cheap land available in the wake of the expulsion of the Kickapoo and Potawatomi tribes from the area. He eventually purchased over 2,000 acres. His first purchase, only 2 months after arriving in central Illinois, was 80 acres for $300. As a property owner, he worked diligently to influence township and county development as laws were written, roads built, and the railroad grew west from Peoria. Phelps came from his home state of Connecticut to Peoria County in late 1834, and by 1840 was elected to the Illinois General Assembly. In the assembly, he advocated for his county and his own township's needs, along with other men from up and down the state, including a 31-year-old lawyer from Sangamon County, one Abraham Lincoln. Phelps divided his time between buying land, his responsibilities in the General Assembly, and working with the county surveyors. These roles put him in prime position to influence road placement to the advantage of his newly acquired real estate. He was first appointed survey viewer and was on hand as roads grew west out of Peoria. Once elected Justice of the Peace in 1836, Phelps had final review of township road plans and reports as they were written. After an unsuccessful campaign for Illinois governor in 1852, Phelps mapped his own town on accumulated property in the far west of Peoria County. Modeled after villages in his native New England as a grid of streets surrounding a central public square, Phelps called his town Elmwood for the groves on his home farm. He recruited other New Englanders to Elmwood, fostering his community's values to mirror puritanical moral standards: anti-alcohol, anti-slavery, pro-education, and pro-Christianity. According to the original city charter, Phelps refused to sell or rent to anyone hoping to open a tavern within town limits. As he sold town lots, Phelps looked to bring the railroad to Elmwood. Across the Midwest, train routes were making or breaking municipalities. The new Peoria and Oquawka Railroad was to originally bypass this town, stopping instead in the village of Newburgh, just north of Elmwood. However, Phelps bought stock at a time when the Peoria and Oquawka needed capital to build, and with that came a directorship and therefore a voice on the executive board. By 1856, the tracks ultimately ran south to Phelps Town. Newburgh perished as Elmwood flourished. Phelps' fortune grew and grew. 2.5 miles east on the Peoria, Oquawka, and Burlington Railroad stands the thriving, wide-awake town of Elmwood. This is a 4-year-old town with a population of 1,000. There are 3 handsome churches, a popular academy, 3 steam mills, numerous large warehouses and stores, and a good newspaper. About 30 houses are in a state of erection at present. Elmwood is also the banner Republican town in Peoria County. But though it possesses unusual advantages, I believe it does not claim to be the inevitable center of all creation. For the next 20 years, William J. Phelps continued both his political and financial pursuits, engaging in business ventures across Illinois and the Midwest. He bought into an Elmwood bank, supported his son, William Edwin, in equipment manufacturing, and speculated in railroad bonds. By the end of 1882, his portfolio was estimated to be worth of over $150,000, or almost $5 million today. On the evening of February 20th, 1883, Phelps rode out of town in his buggy. This was the last he was seen alive. When townsfolk realized he never made it home, the search party went out in the cold winter night. They found his horse and empty buggy near the Kickapoo Creek Bridge south of Elmwood. Searchers fanned out, going up and down the banks of the frigid creek. W.J. Phelps, age 74 years, a prominent citizen of Elmwood, was found dead in Kickapoo Creek Monday evening at 8:30. It is supposed that he died suddenly in his buggy, that the horse wandered too near the creek, upset the buggy, throwing the body into the water. The coroner ruled the cause of death apoplexy, or what we now call a stroke. Phelps' sudden death, without a last will and testament, threw the local business community into a tailspin. His outstanding debts, numbered in the hundreds of thousands, about $4 million today, reached as far as Vermont, but the burden fell most heavily in central Illinois. Outstanding liabilities included $6,000 to his bank co-founder, H.P. Tracy. This lingering debt, while eventually paid by the estate, combined with the bankruptcy of the Elmwood paper mill, sent Tracy's finances spiraling. He was eventually run out of Elmwood by bank depositors. The Chicago Tribune called Phelps' sudden death and ensuing estate dispute the largest and most important failure in years. Most tragically, the debt fell hard on Phelps' business partner and heir, his eldest son, William Edwin Phelps. Not only had he lost his father, but the manufacturing business they ran together collapsed. William Edwin and his family departed Elmwood for Michigan and then went to Oregon, never to return. He was joined in the exodus by his brother Augustus, who landed in California. Phelps' fortune died with him. However, Elmwood, abandoned by its descendants, lived on, growing and shrinking by turns. Regardless of the financial panic he left in his wake, William Phelps is remembered fondly by residents, seen almost as a mythological character. Come to Peoria County to plant the seeds of community from his native New England.